So it's time to look at your town, isn't it? It's time to wonder what they did. Well, you went bankrupt 1965, ran out of silver. Ran out of gold and silver. Constitution section 115, you're supposed to pay all your debts in gold and silver. You're supposed to honour each other by paying each other in real value, but you ran out of real value in 1965. Now, since about 1947, they introduced the International Monetary Fund, and you were able to borrow from bankers instead of holding your own wealth under the Currency Act 1965, where they put your currency into demise and took the silver out of the currency. It's what they call, forget what they call it, when they put dud metals into your coinage. And you end up with a money supply that's worth less. Now, the Lord Mayor of your town is a foreign power. He wears a foreign crown. He works for someone foreign to your commonwealth. Why? It's because you borrowed money from these bankers who then bought the land title and acted as guardians to you because you were personages. And these bankers took on the guardianship of your power of attorney. And what they do in brokerages in stock markets is they keep all of the stock for themselves in the brokerage firms, and then they sell and buy it inside their own firms. Well, they've done the same to your towns. They've done the same to your land titles. You borrowed from a bank, and the bank assumed the land title and issued you tenancy under the rules of usufruct. So you are no longer a land title holder. You are a tenant to a bank holding the land title because you borrowed off the bank and the bank bought the land and then let you pay it off, but never gave you the title back because the Lord Mayor works for someone foreign. So you're going to find in your local towns the banks have taken all the title in your parish slowly, one lot at a time, until they own all of them. You will own nothing, remember, and you will enjoy it. They told you you would enjoy starving. They told you would enjoy being homeless. You would own nothing. And that council's going to start treating you like slaves in a United Nations smart city because you're bankrupt and it owns all the title, just like a brokerage firm does in a stock market. This is how Robin Hood got its fame and power as a application for you to do stock trade on your phone. You're not buying stocks off the stock market. You're buying stocks off a broker who never returns them to the stock market. And by using Robinhood, you're increasing that brokerage's portfolio because they never sell it back into the stock market. They hold it. You're making them richer by trading the coins while they keep the assets. And you've done the same with your land. And you haven't looked at the council, and you haven't looked at the Lord Mayor, and you haven't looked at the federal connection between your city and the Commonwealth, have you? You think ScoMo's going to fix the bankruptcy in your town, run by a Lord Mayor who's running a bankruptcy administration on behalf of the United Nations. The Lord Mayor's the problem. The Lord Mayor's the one that gave your land title away to a bank who held it and released it out to you, just like a brokerage firm does with the stock market. This is why you as little people never get in the door. This is why applications like Robinhood allowed you a foot in the door but never opened the door for you. They're making themselves rich. And until you figure out what your Lord Mayor's done with your land title, you will never fix it. Until you remove the bank from your council, you will never fix it. Until you realise that a foreign power under an oath of fidelity took your land under land abeyance. Abeyance is a situation where title is removed. Land abeyance is a situation of no title. The bank holds all the title, and you are merely tenants in usufruct to a usufructuary you gave a right to when you went bankrupt and started borrowing off them. And your only chance right now is to return back to your towns, start defending your neighbours, start looking at what the council actually is, and start approaching it. I'd suggest you look at Rena Iliades. She put together a video called Pirates of the Suburbs, and she's 150% correct in that your Lord Mayor is a pirate. He's flying a National Admiralty flag on his council. He's a fucking pirate. And he's stealing your land. And he's holding you. It's called rape and pillage. So when a police officer comes along and pulls you over on the highway, that's called rape. It's called highway robbery. And you let it occur. When rangers turn up to your property from the council and enter your property under Amstad versus Brisbane City Council, no agent of council has the right to enter your property at all. And they force this shit upon you with a gun. Rangers do this now. You have to go home to your towns. You have to raise your townsfolk. You have to go to your councils and start questioning the fuck out of them and start driving them to the point where they realise you've woken up. Then you can pitchfork them all into the building and tell them all they're not coming out and you're going to light it on fire. Like in the old days, except you're not going to do that. You need the building yourself. But you're going to realise what that meant. It meant shunning these people out of your community so that they no longer live amongst you. The Lord Mayor has no place in your parish. He's from a foreign fucking faith. And you let him in the door of your parish, where your stone resides, where your cenotaph lists the names of the dead. You let a foreign crown come into your crypt and run your town. And you need to be defences of your town before you can address that. You need to show your town you no longer play party to its foreign bullshit. As a town. That's what scouts are. That's what the CWA is. That's what your nurses were under charter. All of them under charter. And you ignore these charters to go and play corporate bullshit. You're a nurse. Go and fix the people in your town. You're a scout. Go and defend the people in your town. You're the CWA. Prepare to feed the people in your town. Biden just warned you all that you're about to face biblical poverty. Biblical poverty. And you've got slander tards mocking your Anzac, mocking you, mocking your knowledge, mocking your history, because you refuse to stand up as towns. You already raised a red in Canberra demonstrating that you're willing to be Australians. Go home and be those Australians, just like your Anzac were.